the all-new Sports Visions with Dale Williams and DJ Jones, your 1980 national champions. 1980 and 81 SEC champions, two damn good dogs.
Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend, teammate, and traveling partner, Dale Williams.
How you national champion. That's right, man.
That's right, man. I tell you,
good to see you, D.
Absolutely. Happy holidays to you. Happy New Year to everybody else. You know what? Coming up in just a little bit, we have an opportunity to kind of kick around this thing called the National Championship game that's coming up in just a couple of days. You and I both had an opportunity to experience one.
That's right. It's been big time, been a long time, DJ, but really, it's really refreshing to see all those G's riding around town.
Absolutely. Bowl season is over, and the National Championship game is coming up. It's been 37 years since we had the opportunity to play down in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl.
It doesn't seem that long, man, but really, you know, it's really good to hear about Georgia around this area right
Coming
now.
up in just a little bit, we'll have the opportunity to talk about Georgia and Alabama, and we'll also talk about Auburn. You know, didn't go quite so well. All that and more coming up next on Sports Visions.
Every remaining 2017 commercial vehicle must go now at Headquarter Nissan. Over 30 vehicles to choose from, all with a lifetime warranty, all priced to sell. Now drive a new cargo van. Closeout price just $26,990, or a new compact cargo van, just $18,985. Plus, get a lifetime warranty, identity protection, and much more, all at no extra cost.
You feel like you bought from the factory. Headquarter Nissan.
And welcome back to Sports Visions. We're at the office, Dale, and I tell you about those loaded fries up there. And they look that's just French fries, but they loaded.
But they loaded, man, really. Pretty good meal, you know, a little appetizer before the game. Anytime you're having a partner in catering, call the office.
I know. I enjoy, you know, having we had the shrimp and chicken salad, and of course, you can always count on the club sandwich.
The club sandwich, big time, but really, you can't go wrong with the Boss Burger.
All right, let's get it on, man. We're going to talk about our bowl experience. We had opportunity 37 years ago, Dale, to go down and play in the national championship game against Notre Dame. And again, two country boys coming out of the University of States, man. That's some high cotton.
It's really high cotton, DJ. 19, 20-year-old kids going to New Orleans, flying down, everything first class, you know. Really with your teammates. The good thing about it, you got to travel with your teammates, spend a whole week in New Orleans, and man, that was a time right there.
But let's back it up a little bit, because that wasn't our first championship, man. We started playing ball at the YMCA for the Carver Colts.
That's
but
right.
we ended up in a program over off Morris Road that you might know well as Edgewood Red Devils.
That's
and
right.
If I'm not mistaken, Dale, I think it was junior midgets or either midgets, we won the national championship, the Walt Disney World Bowl down in Orlando.
That's right. You know, at the Tangerine Bowl.
Which
is now the Citrus Bowl. And really, DJ, you know, we've always had a championship pedigree. We've always been raised in a spirit of excellence. You know, not that we were perfect or that good, but we always tried to get better. You know, great coaches, great people around us from Tommy Drew to your dad, man. A slew of people had their hands on us.
So we said that just to let you know that we didn't just fall into a national championship at the University of Georgia. Now, I know that a lot of you will give your right hand to have opportunity to even play on a team, much less have the opportunity to experience the festive and the pageantry of a national championship. But we're just two local guys, man, and again, it was a blessing, Dale, and it's still a blessing. Here it is 37 years later that these young men from the University of Georgia and from Alabama have an opportunity to be crowned national champions.
I mean, it's big time, and it's good to have Alabama and Georgia in the picture right now, DJ, because, again, we were groomed and raised by Alabama guys. You know, really, you know, from Mr. Drew, I mean, we ran every play that Alabama ran when we were little guys.
That's right.
So, you know, for us coming from New, and then we go to Georgia, so it's a history there, it's a relationship there, but one of the biggest things about it is that we still play great football, and this is a great environment to play college football, high school football, college football, and as far as the NFL is concerned.
You know, talking about New Orleans, Dale, and, you know, it didn't have to be a bowl game to have a good time in New Orleans, but just think about on top of that, you got another 125,000 people coming in from around the country. The French Quarters was popping. Coach Dooley did a great job of, or the seniors did a great job of policing us because, we had a good time, man. I can remember being on Bourbon Street having a wonderful time.
I mean, really, that's the thing that I could say. We had a good senior class that basically kind of just laid it out there for us and told Coach Dooley, okay, Coach Dooley, we need a 2 o'clock curfew. And as the week went on and on and on, it went down a little bit. But one of the biggest things that I enjoyed about was having my teammates there with it, and we had a ball, and we still share stories about the things that we did when we were 19 and 20 in New Orleans.
Absolutely, and this past week, man, all the pageantry in Atlanta, it was good to see a lot of our teammates. We had a few reunions here and there, but the good thing about it is that we're not trying to overshine what's going on right now. We just are coming together to let these guys know how this brotherhood works for 37 years.
Oh yeah, it's big time, DJ. And really one of the good things, and I'm really glad about, we won ours. It's an opportunity for Georgia to do something that has not been done in 37 years. And when you can do that, man, I mean, really, everything is there. I like the table that has been set for these guys, and really all they got to do is just eat.
The thing about it, too, being in a brand-new stadium, I mean, obviously when we were at the Superdome down in New Orleans, that was the new shiny thing. Right. Of course, Mercedes-Benz is the new shiny thing, and they're playing, having the opportunity to experience that. But, one thing about it, though, this national championship, not only does it reunite you with your teammates and form that brotherhood for life, the fact of the matter is that's something that people, the fans, the Dog Nation, has been talking about and will talk about forever.
That made me really, man, it was big. It was nice to have won one in New Orleans, but can you imagine winning one in Atlanta? Ooh. Oh, man, I mean, really, if you think that was a takeover of the Dog Nation at Notre Dame, you haven't seen anything yet, because really in Atlanta, people always say this about Georgia when we start talking about Georgia Tech, is that the University of Georgia has more alumni in Atlanta, Georgia, than the University of Georgia Tech has in the whole nation.
That's right.
So they've got plenty. We got plenty. Red and black is going to be around there. No disrespect to the Alabama people, and I think really they have adopted Atlanta as their home field since they've been there so many years for SEC championship, national championship. But they're going to get a taste of being being the underdog this time.
Well, before we close out this segment, I just want to reflect back on New Orleans one last time. Now, I know you moved on, but I had the opportunity. No, actually, we came back to the Sugar Bowl again the next year. Right. But again,
Pittsburgh,
with the same implications, an opportunity to win the national championship. Matter of fact, 3 years in a row, we had opportunity to play. We won it in 1981, Dan Marino threw the last second touchdown to beat us. And then in 1982, Todd Blackledge with Penn State, he threw a touchdown in the last 2 minutes. We could have had 3 national champions, but I'm glad we got one.
We got one. I'll take one out of that 3, DJ, but like I said, it's been a long time coming. It's great to see Georgia and Alabama are going to be able to play against one another, and we'll see who's going to be the national champion this year.
All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Come on out to the Office Sports Bar and Grill. Whether meeting up with friends, colleagues, or family, you will feel right at home. We have live music from local artists, happy hour from 4 to 6 daily, and outstanding daily specials. The Office Sports Bar and Grill is not your typical sports bar. Come, eat and drink like a boss.
Why is Headquarter Nissan #1? Well, that's simple. Our value plan. Here, let me explain. With our exclusive value plan, you get a ton of extra value with your purchase at no extra cost. You get a lifetime warranty, plus identity protection, plus theft protection, plus key and remote replacement protection, plus paintless dent repair. We are the #1 dealer offering the #1 value.
You feel like you bought from the factory. Headquarter Nissan.
Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones. You might know me from my athletic career at Carver High School, University of Georgia, or my sports broadcasting career. I know a lot of people, but when it comes to an attorney I trust, I call Forrest B. Johnson.
I'm Forrest Johnson of Forrest B. Johnson & Associates. And I want to let you know how proud we are to be a part of your community, a part of the Columbus community and the Phoenix, Alabama community. Consider us first. When you or any member of your family has been involved in an automobile accident, remember, car wreck, get a check.
Call now, 706-223-5380.
Call.
And welcome back to Sports Visions, Dale. It's now time to talk about and chop up the actual national championship game. But we can't do that before we talk about what happened the week prior. I know Georgia out in Pasadena, everybody was anticipating a great game. I don't think they anticipated how great it actually turned out. But congratulations to Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs.
I mean, big time, DJ. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. Finishing like you need to finish. You have to close like that, DJ. But really, I have to honestly say that I was surprised that they were able to come back like that. You try to be humble when you're winning, and I said, okay, Georgia got a pretty good team, but they do have a really good team, and the way they came back against Oklahoma, the way they played in the second half, the special teams came up. I mean, really, the Blankenship piece. I mean, that field goal before the end of the half, that was big, player.
It was a tale in my mind of two different stories, or two different teams, or two different halves, because the first half was dominated by Oklahoma. They pretty much had their way with the University of Georgia, and I know our defense, man, for whatever reason, seemed like everybody was wide open. But then they went in after halftime and got themselves together, made those adjustments, and then they put the brakes on that offense of Oklahoma. And of course, that defense did their thing. And what about our quarterback, man? Our young quarterback, he was sensational. Sony Michel, 180 yards. Nick Chubb, 145 yards. Who would have thunk it?
Man, who would have thunk that? Sony Michel, 4 TDs, man. Nick Chubb, 2 TDs. People, we had some passing statistics, but they were all rushing yards. And I mean, really, these guys being explosive as they have been throughout their whole career, DJ, they really put on a show. But I think one of the biggest things that I take away from this game, and this is one thing that I like to compare with the Georgia defense, is when we played defense, Ertz could make some adjustments and it would be a wrap. I don't care what the team was doing before, they might have been gaining yards, and that's what Oklahoma did. They had their way with Georgia in the first half, but actually after that, they made those adjustments. It was a wrap. But really, offensively, I give Georgia big credit. But that Sony Michel piece, Nick Chubb, they have the dynamic duo. As a combo, they led the whole. I mean, they got they're career record breakers now.
Yeah, 2 1,000-yard rushers on the same team. That had been done. But I'll tell you one thing, Roger Craig and Eric Dickerson.
That's right.
Those two with the Pony Express, I think that they probably shattered their record. But, going back to, the tale of two halves. When Georgia came back out, Mel Tucker obviously went in, and they came out with a whole new concept. They were press man bump. Early on, they were off playing zone-ish. And, again, they had a lot of openings in there. And, I'm just surprised they didn't go to the man concept a little sooner.
I think really, again, DJ, when you do know what you have to do, you don't want to show it too fast because the other team can make an adjustment at halftime also.
Right.
But really, that was the big difference. They were giving up too much space in the secondary, and they didn't attack, Baker Mayfield enough. And I think really that's the difference. I think there's a lot of similarities with both teams, but I think really the biggest thing is that Georgia has to blitz a whole lot more. Alabama, they're going to bring it every down if they can.
And speaking of Alabama, you know what? Nick Saban, I can only imagine being in those meeting rooms and the way he was able to get into his team's head by talking about, we didn't, these folks didn't respect us. They say we bagged our way in. But, one thing about that, it wasn't about disrespect. Yeah. The fact of the matter, those 13 committee members chose those 4 teams, those final 4 teams. It wasn't like the media picked it, but that committee, bowl committee, that championship game committee, you know what? Alabama deserved to be there, and you see, I never would have thought that they would have dominated Clemson like they did.
I didn't think so either, DJ, but, as you say that, Alabama was there, but I bought into this. When you have a championship pedigree, DJ, you are accustomed to playing in championship games. And I think that SEC championship game where Alabama's sitting at home watching Georgia and Auburn play in a championship game, I think they felt some kind of way. And then at the same time, they had to wait on pins and needles just to get in. I think Nick had enough ammunition to go into the offseason, go to the bowl practice season like, look here, guys, this is what it's going to be. And I think they were well prepared, ready, fresh, to let everybody know that Alabama is not going anywhere.
I felt kind of sorry for my main man, Dabo Sweeney. He came down and blessed us, of course, at our event, our High School Football Awards luncheon on December the 13th. And he came down with a lot of energy. And he had been 3-4 weeks of number 1 ranked, traveling the circuit as far as all the award shows. And The media, he was the media darling, and unfortunately, it seems like the team didn't have the spirit that he had.
That's right.
His team didn't have the spirit that he had because, again, he was really flustered on the sideline. I saw him uncharacteristically going off on his quarterback.
Yeah, he really did. Now, Kelly Bryant did not show up, and that was not the Kelly Bryant that we're accustomed to seeing. DJ, he did not have a good game. I think the offense they just was not prepared for what they got from Alabama on defense. And then on the other side, their defense, Clemson defense didn't show up. So I think really when you go in and out, the offense is like 1, 2, 3 and out, and the defense has to do a lot of playing. I think it kind of, it affects the team a whole lot. But really, Alabama was ready for these guys.
All right, so we got the matchup, Alabama and Georgia in Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Man, of course, 8 o'clock prime time Monday.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be there, obviously,
right.
And again, I know a lot of our old teammates are going to be there.
That's
but
right.
I don't know who would you think would have the edge, because I'm going to tell you right now, StubHub has reported that the average ticket is worth $2,200. The average price right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, and they're going to be higher than that. And I've told someone, and we talked to people. I said, if Georgia and Alabama get to the national championship game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, this ticket was going to be higher than the Super Bowl ticket will be in 2019.
All right, quickly, let's go ahead and give me your take.
Okay, I got the Dogs, man. I got us 24-20. Gonna be a tight game, another tight game. I don't think it'll be as explosive as this Oklahoma game, but I think it's gonna be 24-20 Dogs. I think really we're gonna make some plays down the field.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have some down the field plays. I don't think we'll be able to rush like we rushed against Oklahoma, against Alabama, but I really think 24-20, I got Georgia.
Okay, my pick, I'm going with the Dogs, 31-24. I think.
Yeah, I mean, really, and they're going to be higher than that. And, I've told someone, and we talked to people, I said, if Georgia and Alabama get to the national championship game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, this ticket was going to be higher than the Super Bowl ticket will be in 2019.
All right, quickly, let's go ahead and give me your take.
Okay, I got the Dogs, man. I got us 24-20. Gonna be a tight game, another tight game. I don't think it'll be as explosive as this Oklahoma game, but I think it's gonna be 24-20 Dogs. I think really we're gonna make some plays down the field.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have some down the field plays. I don't think we'll be able to rush like we rushed against Oklahoma, against Alabama, but I really think 24-20, I got Georgia.
Okay, my pick, I'm going with the Dogs, 31-24. I think that we'll have an epic day from our young freshman quarterback. He's not a freshman anymore, but
That's
Jake
right.
Fromm is going to be the difference maker, and I think he's going to do it vertically.
Oh, that's going to be big, man, because, again, it's so similar. They play such similar style of football, and that's going to be a big deal. And we had to do another segment to even talk about to compare those two teams, but It's going to be interesting.
All right, we'll take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
Happy New Year's, everybody, from Headquarters Nissan. Man, we're here doing this 2018. We're getting ready to do it again. We set all the records in 2017. We've been averaging over 300 cars a month. It's for a reason. We got the great deals here. We got everything going. You gotta come to Headquarters Nissan, get off that couch. I'm gonna hook you up. I know you've been to other places. People may have said no, but guess what? You gotta come here. Don't listen to them, regardless of what they said. If you haven't been there, don't listen to no negative people at home or anywhere else telling you not to come. I'm getting people riding. I got total control with these banks. I deal with them every day. They want a part of the action. You got to get up. I'm looking at you right now. Get off that couch. Stop whatever you're doing. You call Headquarters Nissan. You see the number. You go to headquartersnissan.com. You go to hqn.com. You go to columbuscredit.com. We're right here at Whitesville and Whittlesey, right across the street from Hollywood Theater. We got an awesome deal. You just got to come. I don't know what else to say. Football fans, you heard I got my little in the back, that tell him in the back, all you football fans, you got to come here. I know right now, this game, I don't know if they got the big game coming up with Georgia and Alabama. We got everybody. We got the great guys from Georgia that was in the championship back in the day. They out here. I know who they going for. But you know what? We got great deals here. You can be a winner at Headquarters Nissan regardless of what happened on the field. I'm going to be here. My name is James. You call, you come out here to Headquarters Nissan. We're going to take care of you. I'll see you guys later.
And welcome back to Sports Vision, Dale. I tell you what, the NFL season has come to a close, and now we're in the second season, the playoffs. And
that's right.
Fortunately for us, the Atlanta Falcons have made it into the playoff by the hair of their chin.
By the hair of their chin, sneaked in the back door, DJ. But really, it's good that they're in. I think really they can still do a lot of damage in the playoffs, DJ. They open up the day against the Rams, but I really think, man, that they got to do a whole. I hope they did a lot of polishing, but it's still just startles me to know that the Atlanta Falcons lead the NFL in drop passes.
Absolutely. But the thing about it, like I said, this is the second season now. All of that stuff during the season was one thing, but you know what? The teams that have made it in, obviously, I think, especially in the NFC South, they deserve it. I mean, this was one heck of a year when you talk about what New Orleans have been able to do. You talk about the Panthers, they're up and down season, but they're making it in. Of course, the Falcons, playing so good and so well one week, and then the next week looking totally like a team that doesn't belong in the playoffs. But that's neither here nor there now. A couple of victories, and you're in the NFC Championship game.
Really a couple of victories, DJ, and you can make a run, but I think really they're in position to do something. Everybody that they play, they can win, they can beat them. And I think really, coming out of the South has been enough tests for them. It's been good. You got Carolina playing today against the Saints. They have to play. This is the third time, so that's going to be an interesting game. But really, it's going to be everybody that the Falcons will face. If they can get by the Rams, anybody they face, they can win those games.
And the thing about it, the Rams, to me, have been the hottest team in the NFL.
That's
this
right.
side of the Philadelphia Eagles, man. But again, and old Georgia Bulldog is is the culprit of that particular success. And we're talking Todd Gurley, a sensational season. A lot of people think that he deserves to be the MVP for this season, but we'll see how that works out.
We see how it works. I mean, really though, but that is a key person that the Falcons need to stop. They need to stop Todd Gurley and keep a watch on them because the explosiveness that Todd Gurley has, he can go. I mean, in a minute, DJ, he can go.
Absolutely. Now, when you talk about the playoffs, obviously we know we just talked about the NFC South, but again, when you talk about the whole deal, as we're several weeks out from a potential the Super Bowl,
right?
Who do you pick? Who do you think coming out of the NFC, and who do you like in the AFC?
Well, DJ, I like the Vikings. I like the Rams, but like I said, if the Falcons can get it right, they have not played a perfect game or a good game the whole season. If they can just the light comes on during the playoffs, they got a good chance of coming out of that, DJ. Other than that, if it's not the Falcons, I'll go with the Vikings, man.
Yeah, and the thing about what you said, the momentum seems to be going in favor of the Atlanta Falcons with, again, everything culminating in the city with the national championship game, all the attention on Atlanta.
That's right.
Again, this is a wonderful opportunity for Atlanta to erase all of those Super Bowl memories from last year. Again, that's behind them.
That's right.
The season up and down, that's behind them. Now they can really make their mark. When you talk about Matt Ryan and what this means to him, I think as a veteran quarterback in this league, Julio Jones, those guys, all those weapons, man, this is an opportunity for them to make a statement to everybody. And again,
that's right.
I would love nothing more to have, obviously, we got the Dogs winning the national championship, and again, have the Atlanta Falcons win the Super Bowl.
Woo, man, that would be something else right there. But,
yes.
But DJ, like I say, if coming out of the NFC has been real tough, and I think really it's probably shown the most parity. But then when you flip on the AFC side, you see the Patriots again, and you got the Steelers again. So that's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a matter of really the Steelers, can they overcome playing the Patriots, or whoever plays the Patriots got to knock them off. But at the same time, DJ, anything can happen during the playoffs.
I got to get your opinion on James Harrison obviously being waived by the Steelers and picked up by the Patriots. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't blame James Harrison. First of all, it's a business decision. It was a business decision for the Steelers to get rid of this guy. But then again, the craftiness and the sportsmanship, that your boy Bill Belichick had, he's available. He can probably bring something to the table that we don't know about the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, I'll put him on my team, and I do not blame James Harrison for even just saying, okay, I'm going to the Patriots.
Before we get out of here, a lot of NFL jobs this year are open, man. And, it's probably been the most in recent history. And the fact of the matter is I'm glad that we still have our coach and we're in the playoffs. But the fact, when you talk about all these jobs, man, Bruce Arians, of course, most recently decided to step down, 65 years old, been in the league for 40-some plus years. And, of course, having an opportunity to bring the Cardinals to the all-time winningest coach. He was the all-time with 50 wins. You see a guy like that go at but the others that, of course, it's all about production. You talk about Detroit, their coach is out. It's crazy right now, but what we know on the college side, and we talked about you know, the expectations of college coaches and the college programs, but on the professional side, it seems like, you know, they're getting the 1 or 2 year deals and they're cutting these guys out of here too.
Well, you know, the expectations of everything, DJ, and then the money piece, man. These guys are getting paid just like quarterbacks almost as being coaches and stuff. They want to see some residual for that investment, and they have not been getting it. You know, when you start talking about the Oakland Raiders, you know, the Jack Del Rio piece, you know, it was about that time. The Marvin Lewis piece, it was about that time.
15 years Marvin Lewis was there.
15 years. And then I'm going to tell you something else. You know, he's a good guy, but he's a businessman. And I'm talking about Jerry Jones.
Yes.
But their coach.
Yes.
You know, it's like, okay, is it that time again? We need to shake this thing up because, again, DJ, there's a lot of expectation with these coaches and fans.
Yep, absolutely. You know, I also want to talk about John Gruden. We're talking about coaches, but now this has been the most serious that I've heard because we hear the number $10 million as a salary, and they're talking ownership stakes.
That's
so
right.
interest in the ownership. So, I mean, if that can happen, man, I think that would be enough to pull him out of the television booth.
I think that was the deal right there. The deal setter right there, ownership. And I think really John knows the money is going to be there. I think he always liked being a Raider. And when he even jumped to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I always liked the point about because Al Davis handpicked him at a young age. I think that's going to be a good pick. And it'll be a great mix for the Raiders because, again, the Raiders have been overrated the last 45 years.
All right. We'll take another short break. This is Sports Visions.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're gonna be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to.
Every remaining 2017 commercial vehicle must go now at Headquarter Nissan. Over 30 vehicles to choose from, all with a lifetime warranty, all priced to sell. Now drive a new cargo van. Closeout price just $26,990. Or a new compact cargo van, just $18,985. Plus, get a lifetime warranty, identity protection, and much more, all at no extra cost.
Feel like you bought from the factory. Headquarter Nissan.
Give your gathering something to gather around. Try catering at Chick-fil-A.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Vision. Dale, I tell you, man, this is, if you're a football fan, this is the time of year that you love because you have, of course, the national championship game coming up, and then the NFL is in their playoff mode. So we got some football that's going to go from now through the Super Bowl.
That's right, DJ. And these are called money games, DJ, because all of them have some kind of trophy, some kind of national exposure. But really, Georgia, Alabama, Super Bowl is coming up, DJ. Senior Bowl coming up. You got drafts, you got combine, and we always gonna have football, DJ.
Absolutely, and you can't forget got the Pro Bowl down in Orlando,
That's right.
which was, some people think that it was a good decision. Me personally, I like the fact of going to Hawaii, but again, the folks in Hawaii and the folks on the state side, getting to Hawaii was a big deal, but to get to Orlando is a whole lot easier.
A whole lot easier, DJ, and I think really for that true fan, he can afford to go to Orlando and Disney World in Orlando.
Absolutely, and again, when you talk about what's going on in the Bi-City area, in East Alabama, West Central Georgia, the high school basketball is in full effect. Dale got a few teams that are ranked, several teams, but we're going to follow that because they're well off into the basketball season, but we're looking forward to bringing Jordan Hill back to talk a little bit of high school basketball.
That's right, Jordan Hill, the Ledger Inquirer expert, and with sports, high school sports around here, DJ. Good addition to the show.
Absolutely, and again, you know what? We started off the year with a great show and with a great attitude. I just look forward to what's coming in 2018.
We got great things coming, DJ. Again, with a little tweak, a little this, a little that. We strive for excellence on this show. But, we know we're not perfect. But, again, DJ, we're going to keep on trying to get better, player.
Absolutely. And before we get out of here, our next event will be in April. And, of course, we're so proud that we have developed and put together the Female Athlete of the Year Awards luncheon. But we want to just put that out there because we're several months away. But at the same time, it's right around the corner.
Right around the corner, DJ. And, again, thanks for all our sponsors for the boys' high school football luncheon this year. And, really, For the girls, we got something planned for you all too, and really, we'll be coming to see you real soon.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for all the time we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.